I think we're live. Are we live yet? Are we live yet? Are we live yet? Live yet? Are we live yet? Are we live yet? We're live now! Live yet? Are we live yet? Are we live yet? We're live now! Oh no! Oh no! We're live now! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Let's not speak of that, shall we? Let's not speak of that. Puck, why are you hiding under my feet, buddy? Okay, so I think I fixed that because I don't hear myself anymore. I only hear the music because I may have forgotten to close my other window. I have a gazillion windows open. Alright, so let me pop out chat so I can see chat. Yeah, Puck is totally under my desk right now. I don't know where Tinker is. Oh, Tinker's in her crate. They're nearby. They're just not, you know. What, you don't want to be under the desk anymore? Did I jinx it? Okay, so I started working on bingo, which I will get up on the screen in a second. In a second. Cool, perfect. I just need to find the other thing. Nope. Alright, so here's what I have on my bingo card right now. I need to essentially start up Chrome so we can get the feed in the other one. They delayed the launch for a half hour, the last I saw. There were not 3 launches today. It was only ever 2. What ended up happening is that there was a Rocket Lab launch that was really, really hyped. Or not a Rocket Lab launch. Look at me mixing things up. Not so much a Rocket Lab launch that was hyped, but there was a press release. And they were kind of vague. Like, they were, you know, essentially promoting the crap out of it, but they wouldn't say what was going up or what was going on right away. So I'm just kind of... Atlas is tomorrow, I think? I'd ask my Alexa, but then if y'all have the same thing, it'll still trigger. So... Alright, hold on. Because I said I was ready, and I was like half right about being ready. Half right. Alright, Puck, what's up? The rain is over, buddy. He doesn't believe me. Okay, so you can see what I'm seeing. Oh yeah, this is not, by any stretch of the imagination, this is not the busiest launch week. So it's not tomorrow. It's 2 days from now. That the Atlas V takes off, and the 16th is... See, last time I checked this, it didn't have a whole bunch of stuff. 16th is the Lookma No Hands, the 19th is the AP Star 6 Delta. Along with... I don't know. I'm not sure if did humans come back to Earth yet? I can't remember if humans came back to Earth. Alright, so far we're still good. Let me get everything rearranged just where I need it. So let's work on bingo, shall we? Stegan says, no, we're still out here, floating. Just floating in outer space. With the tardigrades. AstroYYZ says, it's weird, but I was excited to see the Ariane 5 launch, then found out Myanmar was one of the clients for one of the satellites and didn't feel so excited about it anymore. Yeah, I tend to not get a whole lot involved with politics because A, I just don't know that much, and B, I end up making myself sound like an idiot. Alright, so let's work on some terms for the bingo. So this has... for bingo I have already... Oh, there we go. DPI is like, here, have some. For bingo already, I have dogs barking, SpaceX, Falcon 9, communications satellite, Boeing, KU, C, KA, nominal liftoff, flight proven, Cape Canaveral, and free. Ay. Alright. So I'm assuming this is RP1 and LOX flight. Max Q, Meko, Seco, expendable, fairing separation, AMOS, replacement, people cheering, always. That's usually in the background. And satellite, do we just have orbit? I don't think we have orbit. We're gonna add Israel to this list because AMOS is owned by Israel? Yes, I was just looking at that, Spacecom. So we'll add Spacecom and Israel. Let's see, we have satellite. Oh, I have a communication satellite, so I'm going to take out satellite. We're going to replace it with something else. We'll put 17. We'll just have 17 as its own block. Alright. 17 is a replacement for AMOS-5. Wow, they lost contact with the satellite with AMOS-5 almost 4 whole years after it was launched. That's kind of sad. And yeah. Oof. Actually, I'm not sure who built it, if it was Boeing or not. I don't know, it has its own Wikipedia page, so let's go, I guess. Following the failure of Power Generator 1, Generator 2 was activated in May 2002. It's okay, Tinker. Power Generator 2 also developed faults in September 2012 and October 2013. And the satellite's initial lifespan of 15 years was expected to be shortened by 11 months. However, all communications were lost on 21 November 2015. It doesn't say, but there were... the article goes on to say the satellite was visualized in its expected location, moving in an uncontrolled fashion, most likely due to power failure. So, Yeah, SpaceX doesn't start broadcasting for a bit. A bit. And dual monitors for the win, always. Oh, dual monitors for the win. Yeah, we're prepping a launch bingo card. We're in the overflow now, but if you can think of any other... you can think of any other terms to add. What did you just knock over? I almost set up a third, but I don't know if I had enough... I don't think enough space. Otherwise, Ed says, I treat a lot of neck injuries at work due to dual monitors. It's good for my business, so keep doing it, I guess. Yeah, I know, I'm not sure how a lot of people use dual monitors, but I typically look at one and work from one, and then the other one is and the other one I usually is my secondary monitor, although sometimes I have like whatever work, but either way I usually only use or focus on one at a time. All right. Okay. Oh, most neck injuries stem from the wrong sitting position, not the fact you have two screens. I try to get my patients to keep shoulders and head square to each monitor, not to turn the head. Oh yeah. Yeah, that could definitely be painful, because I definitely do rotate between the two. So, do we really have any other... Let me pull up the Falcon 9 Wikipedia page. Yeah, but some people actually don't use computer chairs in front of computers. Here I was just saying, like, before I was saying, yeah, I rotate my body. No, I don't. No, I don't. Like right now I have my neck twisted. Ha 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 ha. Alright, see you in a bit, slacking cats. Okay, so... I'm looking for details. So there's Merlin. I was gonna say, I thought Merlin was something that we usually had in here. Merlin... And that's it. So I guess payload separation? Oh, we don't have first stage separation. Separation, and then payload separation. I physically moved? Jeepers, yeah. I even have one of those, it shouldn't be Atmos, it should be AMOS. Do I have it as Atmos somewhere? Or is that just your, autocorrect? Now I'm paranoid that I have it as Atmos. No, I have it as AMOS. Okay. AMOS is 17 is a replacement satellite for AMOS-5, which we just learned had a very short lifespan. It didn't live through its life expectancy. It apparently lost power and just... Is the word nominal in there somewhere? The word nominal is in here? Somewhere. Here. Here's nominal. Oh, I don't have T-minus. I'll do internal power. Dogs barking is always the first square. Needs more beer. It's kinda early for that, guys. It's kind of early for that. Although I definitely do have beer I could be drinking. Yes! Don't you ever wonder why I start the rockmarking streams at, it's a ComSat drop bear. You guys ever wonder why I start my heat mapping streams so late? It's because if I have a beer, it's after the agreed upon time that it's okay to have a beer. So, like, we're kind of getting there now. But, I mean, yeah. Oh, I see. ComSat. Yeah, it's yet another ComSat. Yeah, because there might be children watching. There might be people who just don't drink alcohol watching. And if I had more stuff, if I had more stuff, I could make, like, more fancy mocktails. So Stegan asked, are there, like, international sanctions or laws to determine when a beer is appropriate? Alright, I'm gonna hit generate on this. I feel like we're good. And I'm gonna do make a call list. I'm gonna do the play link. So I'm gonna copy paste the play link for Paranor. It's not so much that there's an international thing, it's just so we're not funded by NASA. And we don't have any federal funding. So right now we have a whole lot of freedom with what we can do when we stream. And I could do things like cuss occasionally. In fact, I think we have cussed occasionally. I could do things like drink alcohol. But if we were federally funded by grant money, again, that stuff can't appear on stream. So, yeah. And I was questioning it, and I talked to Dr. Pamela about it, and she's like, my rule is the times that things appear on TV. So that's why it's 9 o'clock. Is because Boss Lady said so. And I was kind of concerned because, yeah, I don't want to make people uncomfortable. So, yeah. Anyways, we have the bingo card up. And I do... Our adult consumption time is based on Central Time Zone. No! It is not! It is not based on Central Time Zone. It is based on, wait for it, streamer local time zone. So, I don't have to wait till 10 o'clock at night in Youngstown to have a drink. So, Ernster's like, you made me stream. Alright, so I need to print this page. Where's my print? Yeah, he streamed earlier. Which was actually, he streamed the launch earlier, which I had a whole bunch of deliveries show up today by both UPS and Amazon, and they all showed up during the stream. So to keep from constantly getting interrupted, you know, Dave was nice enough to stream. So yeah, he even has his own bio, man. Alright, so I guess I should click the play link. So you get a play link in chat, and this is what you see. You'll see a attention players, click button below to generate a unique card. Don't worry about the game conductor bit. So you generate the card. It says, this is your own unique bingo card. Click a box to mark it. Click a box again to unmark it. If you win, say bingo. If you're playing this game over multiple days, which we're not, bookmark this page or email the URL to yourself so you can get back to this card. To make the bingo card larger, you just simply click, okay, I understand. And boom, look, a beautiful bingo card. And it is indeed pretty simple. Just click and unclick. And everybody should have the free square marked. In case you don't know how to play bingo, a line bingo is any line that's vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. And then after that, we'll try to do full card bingo. So that is literally every square on the card. So yeah, once somebody gets line bingo, we'll move on to full card bingo. I don't know if we've been successful with moving on to full card bingo, but we usually do get at least 1 or 2 line bingos. So I'm gonna go grab the call sheet. The dogs have heard me open the Cheerios. I know, right, Puck? Dogs have heard me open the Cheerios. And I'm gonna have you look at the dogs for a second while I yeah. While I go do the thing. Yes, you can cross off dog barking. Oh, well, I hope it goes better than you think it'll go, Nur. I hope it goes better than what you think it will. Okay. Yes, cross off dogs barking because dogs barking. I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and we're still waiting on the SpaceX stream. Oh, I forgot to get the call sheet. Look at me screwing up. I know, right, Peck? Right, Tink? Okay, let's try this again. I have the call sheet in front of me. So I'm gonna scribble out dogs barking. And I think that's all we can scribble out. So we have... Yeah, I know, right? We both do it all the time. So I am going to resize all of these windows. There we go. And pull everything back around here so I can actually see all the things. So, yeah, we're still waiting. They're not going to start for another 30 minutes. I guess we can mark a rock. I guess we can mark Bennu. Part of me is like, but Bennu. Anybody want updates on their count that's below 50? Oh, I forgot to turn ducking back off. See? See? I have all of this time to screw up. All of this time to screw up. Okay. We still have 29 minutes until SpaceX starts their broadcast. So, and we've got bingo done. So now I'm like, now what? Because it's a ComSat. It's not like super cool, exciting things. It's just a ComSat. Does anybody want to know what their count is on Bennu? Because I have the database up. Yeah, launching and landings are pretty exciting. Bite my tongue! Fine! It's more than just a ComSat. But I'm like, it's another ComSat! Isn't the time SpaceX shows actually the launch time? I'm not so sure. DPI says, I would actually appreciate a spreadsheet update. You know what? We can do that. We can do that. Let me get all this back up. I'm gonna have to move chat where I can see it again. So, some of you are like, what are you talking about? What spreadsheet update? I have this very super informal spreadsheet that has a decent amount of data in it. Here it is. And it has... I've been updating... This page is the number... What images are stuck on how many views? Let me get that just right. Right, yes, Astro YYZ, yeah, I think they will start in about 10 minutes. This is a 2-hour launch window. I don't have Twitter open, and I'm not keeping an eye on Twitter. So the wonderful thing about a 2-hour launch window is that if something, you know, doesn't quite go right, they don't have to scrap the entire launch. But if... Oh, I should probably set up the sum first before I do this. I know, Tinker. If something doesn't quite right, doesn't go quite right, they don't have to scrap it right away. But it also means that they can just kind of push it back, push it back, push it back, and not tell us anything. So, yeah. And DPI has been heat mapping Bennu stream, or has been streaming hate mapping Bennu. So yeah, follow DPI to see when he, you know, hate maps Bennu. Because DPI, like the rest of us, has been doing a science. So far, SpaceX Twitter is not updated. Perfect. All right. So get to the right query. We have 108 images remaining. And I am actually going to scooch this over so I don't see yesterday's numbers. Oh, it won't let me scooch it over. So I'll scooch it back so we can see comparison from yesterday to today. So 68, they're stuck at one view. Oh, I forgot to turn this into a percentage too. Yeah, is the Space app, you know, updated by SpaceX, or is it updated by a fan? Because if it's updated, if it's a fan update, they may not get, whoa, wow, 414. That's way down. That's why. 502. Yeah, I've always just gone to their Twitter because I think they're fairly tight-lipped with everything. Yes, everything is green for the launch. Well, except for maybe weather. And that's why that's actually why they delayed, was because of the weather. If they scrub today, they actually have better weather for tomorrow, but scrubbing today means money. As in, they've lost money. So they'd rather, you know, launch today than launch tomorrow. Oh, it is the official Twitter. Okay. Okay. So it looks like we had a bunch of images jump from having 3 views to 4 views, which I've been saying that these are going to bubble up. Oh shoot, is they don't share a launch pad though with ULA, do they? I think they each have their own pad. What? Why are you getting my attention? Oh, yeah, they do share a range. But why'd y'all get my attention? Alright, later YYZ. I mean, you can at binary ablaze all you want. I might see it, but CosmoQuest is highlighted. Oh, you just wanted to say hi. Alright, so what I have up on the screen as far as images or numbers in the spreadsheet is good. I'm just running them again to make sure there weren't any updates. I don't expect there to be updates. Look, that was an update, which means this one's probably at 1. Let's see, that was 5. Let's do 6. Yep. Because there's people actively marking right now. These numbers do change a little bit. 8 still has 3. 9 still has 0. 10 still has 1. 1. 13 has 1. 14. 15. Okay. So out of 108 images that have been processed, we have definitely made a significant change in the number that are just stuck at one view. We've gone down not quite 30. Looks like 25 at least. The number of images stuck at 3 has definitely decreased. And it looks like we're going to have a bunch of images just stuck at 4 views for a while. Oh, things are happening. Alright, let me get all my things together. Do. Okay, I think that should be good. I know, Tinker. No, I don't want to merge. So yeah, we've had movement in the numbers. Oh, the spacecraft's on internal power? Well, knock out internal power. I'm gonna have to delete that. So later today, I will probably work on this sheet. Or not. It actually gets kind of confusing. And part of me is like, I'd rather not. So the number of users does continue to go up, but I don't know how many of them actually mark all the time. And I'm sure there's a way for me to figure out, you know, who's marking what day, but I'm kind of at the point where I just don't want to. Okay. Today was a good marking day. It really was. It really was. So put that there. I know, Tink. Have some Cheerios. It really was. Overnight we had a big bump of images, and that makes me happy, because it is progress. I know it doesn't always look like progress, but it's progress. And the leaderboard is having more of an effect than I thought it would, because Dr. Pamela was like, all right, let's get you not doing this for an hour every morning, more or less. And now there's people in Discord that are like, I am going to destroy all my foes. And it's also helping people be like, okay, I'm going to set a goal for this and do this. So let me cross off internal power. So if you're playing bingo, you should have marked off dogs barking, free space, internal power, and SpaceX, because SpaceX is totally on the screen. DPI says, I'm hunting Zathras. That's actually hilarious to me, DPI. It really is. It really is. I mean, it works. It's whatever gets you marking, gets you marking. But does Zathras realize that you're hunting? Does he realize what's going on? Or are you just like, I'm gonna do more than Zathras? So I'm gonna pull up the leaderboard now. And we really should have this as a command. So here's the leaderboard. I don't know. So Zathras right now is at 777, which makes me happy. There's somebody else that's at 666, and I don't know if they know that they're at that number or not, because there's part of me that's like, I wonder if they left it like that. So DPI right now is at 787, so 10 more than Zathras. And I think Zathras is active in our on Ellipson 3? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Open Cage. Puck, what are you doing? When did I post the leaderboard? A couple days ago? I don't know how to properly pronounce Zathras. Zathras. Ugh. Zathras. Not the one, not the one. Alright, well, I'm glad you all know what's going on. I'm gonna pull everything over onto this screen. Are you excited, Tinker? Oof.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, August 6th, and you're looking at a live view of the Falcon 9 rocket as it awaits at 7:23 p.m. Eastern Time launch from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida. My name is Kate Tice, and I'm a SpaceX certification engineer here at company headquarters in Hawthorne, California. Welcome to the webcast for the AMOS-17 mission, SpaceX's 10th launch of 2019. We'd like to extend a particularly warm welcome to Spacecom CEO David Pollock and the nearly 200 Spacecom guests who have traveled from across the globe to watch today's launch from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. On today's mission, we will be flying Spacecom's AMOS-17, a geostationary communications satellite which will provide internet, phone, and secure communications to customers in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. We're currently at T-minus 12.5 minutes until liftoff, and currently all systems are go. Let's take a look at that rocket there on the pad. So that's our 70-meter, two-stage liquid-fueled rocket. The bottom two-thirds that you see there is the first stage, which accelerates the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere to the edge of space with the help of 9 Merlin engines. This will be the third and final flight for this booster, which previously flew on the SHALE-2 mission last November and on Telstar 19V just over a year ago. We will not be recovering the first stage following today's mission. There on the screen you can see quite a bit of white gas floating around, totally normal. That's just the liquid oxygen from inside the vehicle venting and turning into gas as it makes contact with the atmosphere. On top of the first stage is the black carbon fiber interstage, and on top of that is the F9 second stage. And that's what takes the payload to its eventual destination in orbit. The stages separate at about 2.5 minutes into flight. The second stage has a single Merlin vacuum, or as you hear us refer to it, MVAC engine, and that ignites after the first stage separates. The second stage is what will be carrying the AMOS-17 satellite to geostationary transfer orbit. The satellite is safely enclosed inside of the 17-foot diameter payload fairing, which you see right there, the pointy cone at the top of the rocket. This protects the payload from aerothermal loads, heating, and contamination during ascent. Once we reach the vacuum of space, we'll jettison the fairing as the second stage continues on its journey to orbit. We will be attempting to recover the fairing halves tonight with our recovery vessel, Ms. Tree, formerly known as Mr. Steven. Our hope is to catch one of the fairing halves in the ship's nets and then recover the other half from the water with our other recovery vessel, Go Navigator. Our catch attempt will occur around T plus 45 minutes into flight, which will be after our webcast concludes, so we'll be providing any additional updates on those catches via our social media accounts. Lastly, the large truss structure that you see there is the Transporter Erector, or TE. That's what we use to roll the rocket out to the pad from the hangar and then raise it to its vertical launch position as you see there. The TE also routes the vehicle's fluids, power, and telemetry umbilicals from the ground systems to the rocket and satellites until F9 goes on internal power and clears the pad. At liftoff, that's what we'll retract in order to clear the way for F9's ascent.
Good afternoon. I'm John Innsbrucker, the Falcon Principal Integration Engineer at SpaceX, and we're just inside 10 minutes before launch. Good news is we're working no issues on Falcon 9, but we are closely watching the weather. Falcon 9 rolled out to the pad with the AMOS-17 satellite at T-minus 16 hours and went vertical about 12 hours ago. Now the chief engineer held a technical poll at T-minus 1 hour, and then the launch director held both the propellant load and launch go, no-go polls at T-minus 38 minutes. Now the go, no-go poll covers the 10 people who are counting down the Falcon. They electronically click on go in their online procedure. Now for Falcon 9, we've been loading propellant since T-minus 35 minutes. Falcon 9 uses rocket-grade kerosene, which we call RP1, for its fuel, and liquid oxygen, or LOX, is the oxidizer. It's that cold LOX that's causing the condensation clouds that you see around the first and second stages. Now with fuel and oxidizer on hand, we do need an ignition source to complete the fire triangle. Now for Falcon 9, this is T-Tub liquid, which is our igniter. You might see this at T-minus 0 as a green glow right before the engines light and the rocket takes off. Now currently fuel is completely loaded on the second stage. Fuel is scheduled to finish up on the first stage at about T-minus 6 minutes before launch. And meanwhile, liquid oxygen load is continuing on both first and second stages. Now in addition to the RP1 fuel and the liquid oxygen, Falcon 9 also uses helium to keep the tanks pressurized in flight. This helps fill the empty volume created as we deplete propellant out of the stages. Helium load began before the webcast went live. We're topping off until about the last minute and a half before launch. Now engine chill will begin at T-minus 7 minutes. You're getting the team ready in a minute to open up the pre-valves between the first stage propellant tanks and the 9 Merlin engines. This will allow a little bit of cold liquid oxygen to flow into the turbo pumps, bringing them down to a temperature close to that of the super chilled propellant that will soon be flowing through the engines at liftoff. So the Falcon 9's looking good. On the satellite side, the Spacecom team transferred AMOS-17 to internal power starting at T-minus 30 minutes. They completed that at T-minus 15 minutes. They're ready for launch. They're just monitoring telemetry on the spacecraft. The range tells us that they are green, air and sea space are cleared, and the big one is the weather. We had to delay half an hour this evening for launch. Currently the weather rules are all green, but we're watching everything as we go through the last 7 minutes of the countdown. So right now, all systems continue to be go for liftoff at 23 minutes after the hour.
As we mentioned earlier, tonight's mission is for Spacecom, a satellite operator headquartered in Israel. Today we're launching AMOS-17. AMOS stands for African Mediterranean Orbital Satellite, and the 17 is for 17 degrees east longitude location of the satellite. Built by Boeing, it'll be the most advanced high-throughput satellite providing communication services to Africa and have a life expectancy of over 20 years. Let's get some more details on our customer payload tonight.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
We're just inside 5 minutes from liftoff. Falcon 9 is now moving into the final stages of the countdown. First and second stages are both nearly fully loaded with over 1 million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen. Stage 1 actually finished loading just a moment ago, and we have also begun chilling of the 9 Merlin engines. We're also getting ready now for the completion of liquid oxygen loading on both stage 1. That'll happen at about T-3 minutes. Second stage will close out at about T-2 minutes. The view on the screen is Falcon 9. The strong back part of the transporter erector still around the vehicle. We're getting ready to open up the clamp arms that attach to the second stage. Once the arms are open, coming open right now, you can see them, we will then begin retracting the strong back. That'll be coming up in about 10 seconds. The strong back will recline about 2 degrees away from the Falcon 9. Beginning motion of the strong back. Now we're using hydraulic struts to pull it back, and at liftoff, those hydraulic struts will pull it farther away as the rocket lifts off to clear the strong back. Another event coming up at T-60 seconds is the call out that Falcon 9 is in startup. This means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers have taken over the launch countdown. There are 3 flight computers on the second stage that constantly compare commands and calculations with each other. That way, if any one computer develops a fault, the other 2 can safely continue the flight. So Falcon 9's looking good. The AMOS-17 payload, the Spacecom team, everything continues to be good for them. Currently, the range is tracking no issues. Everything is clear for launch, and the weather continues to cooperate, but we've still got a few minutes to go. So as we've passed just inside T-3 minutes, let's listen in to the countdown nets for the terminal count of Falcon 9 with AMOS-17.
LDCE, this is RC on countdown 1. Be advised, the range has got no go at this time. Continue with the count. We'll execute a range hold at T-30 seconds if the range does not clear the issue.
All right. There was something about if the range doesn't clear the issue.
It got stuck.
Something about
Stage 2 locks close out.
So something about a possible hold if range doesn't clear the issue.
Ground gas closeouts.
LDCE, this is RC on countdown. Be advised, we're continuing with the count. The range is go at this time.
F9 is on startup. Stage 2 pressing for flight.
LD is go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Stage 1 pressing for flight.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Vehicle is pitching downrange. AVI power and telemetry nominal. Vehicle is supersonic.
Coming up on 1 minute into flight, we're getting ready for maximum dynamic pressure.
Vehicle has reached maximum aerodynamic pressure.
You've heard the call out. We're through the region of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Vehicle going supersonic as we leave the denser parts of the lower Earth's atmosphere. Falcon 9 trajectory looks good. All 9 Merlin engines are at power. Everything looking good for Falcon 9. We're heading due east from Cape Canaveral, headed to the first of 2 orbits planned for today. Nice view from the onboard camera looking back at the plume slowly expanding. As we leave the atmosphere, the plume will get larger as we get out to the vacuum of space. Now today, first stage shutdown is planned for about T plus 2 minutes 45 seconds. We won't be recovering the first stage today, so that leaves more propellant to burn to achieve the required orbit for the satellite. If you compare that to last week's CRS-18 resupply flight to the space station, on that mission the first stage shut down almost half a minute sooner than today. We needed to reserve enough propellant to be able to turn the first stage and return it all the way back to the launch site. Now coming up quickly in 20 seconds, a sequence of events: main engine cutoff, the 9 main engines shut down, stage separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine coming up in just under 15 seconds.
Go.
AVI stage separation confirmed.
We've had successful ignition of the second stage engine. The Merlin Vacuum D engine is up at power. Turbine speed looks good.
Saved.
You can see the nozzle beginning to glow red, a tradition
Stage
for
2
the upper
nominal
stage.
trajectory.
First stage has completed its mission. It's falling back to Earth. As we said, we won't recover it. Coming up next, fairing separation out in the vacuum of space.
AVI fairing separation confirmed. Acquisition of signal been needed.
Nice view in the late afternoon. Sun shining on the payload fairing. The second stage has separated the payload fairing around the AMOS-17 spacecraft as we're now in the vacuum of space. Right now, Merlin vacuum engine continues to be on power. Trajectory looks good. Stage 2 is right in the middle of the predicted path. Avionics reports their systems are nominal. So coming up 4 minutes and 15 seconds mark, we are go on Falcon 9 carrying AMOS-17 to the parking orbit, the first of 2 orbits for today.
So I'm not sure if they're recovering the fairing. I think earlier in the broadcast... Oh, okay. So yes, they're recovering the fairing. No, they're not recovering the first stage. Okay.
So just past the T plus 5 minute mark into today's mission for AMOS-17. In case if you've just joined us, we had a slight delay due to weather over at Florida launch site, but we did take off at 23 minutes after the hour. And as you can see on your screen, the stages have separated, and there we have a beautiful shot of planet Earth as the second stage nozzle is glowing gorgeous red, orange, as it's carrying AMOS-17 to geostationary transfer orbit.
Stage 2 on nominal trajectory.
We have confirmation that the trajectory for stage 2 is nominal. Just after the second stage ignited, you may have noticed a couple of pieces coming off from the nozzle. If you've tuned into our launches before, you see that every time. Those are that's basically just a stiffening ring that we place at the end of the nozzle to give it a little bit of structural integrity for transportation purposes while the rocket is still on the ground. Not really necessary once the rocket has taken off and they fall away. The next major event that we are approaching at about the 8 minute and 9 second mark will be the first of 2 second engine cutoffs, or SECO 1. At this point in the mission, the second stage is pulling about 3.5 Gs. You yourself may have experienced that. If you've ever been on a big roller coaster, equivalent to that, the space shuttle encountered about 3.5 Gs whenever it was taking off and re-entering.
Terminal guidance.
So we're less than 30 seconds away from second engine cutoff 1. Like I said before, this is AMOS-17, which will provide internet, phone, and secure communications to customers in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. We're sending it to geostationary transfer orbit.
They're shut down.
And we have confirmation that second engine cutoff has occurred and that we are in good orbit. So we're about to enter an 18-minute coast phase, so we're going to take a break, but we'll leave you with an animation that shows where we are in the coast phase. We'll be back at the T plus 26 minute mark for a second stage
Nominal
relay.
orbit insertion.
All right, so they're taking a break for like 18 minutes. Oh, thanks for the bits. I have the entire... Okay. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the follow. I have the entire family. I don't have a little bit. No, they never recover the second stage. PM me your nachos. They usually only recover the first stage, but they needed all the fuel in this first stage to get it to the 2 orbits that the satellite needed to be at. Is there a excuse me, is there a passenger, or am I getting this confused with this morning's launch? Anyways, they needed all the fuel they could possibly get. Oh, excuse me. All the fuel. And yeah, I don't play KSP simply because I need to play with mods. But yeah, this is, AMOS is definitely big, huge. So they needed all the things. Plus, it's the third time they've reused the booster, and I know with the capsules they don't go beyond 3 times. I'm not sure about the boosters. So there's that. So we had a line bingo. Planetary Pan, I think, got the line bingo. I kind of accidentally made the card too hard because I had each one of the bands that AMOS covers, and I don't think a single one of them was mentioned. So I am actually going to get up and make sure that the cat gets to where the cat needs to be. Where is the thing? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna make sure the cat gets where the cat needs to be. He had 1 treat and a half. He probably wants some food or water. So I need to go take care of my very geriatric cat. So I'll be right back.
Expected loss of signal reviewed.
Yeah, Tink, hey, Sammy! Tink wants to follow me, and they were hoping, because I opened the magic door, they were hoping, hey! Because I opened the magic door, they were hoping that they were going to get some treats. Treats being cat food. But they did not get, you know, they did not quite get anything good, so now they have to settle for Cheerios. So, I guess we can do the whole talking about Bennu thing. Let's talk about Bennu. So before we started the broadcast, Bennu was at 1,008 images to be done, and we are now at 1,006 images to be done. I'm not sure where the images are. I'm not going to go through that whole thing like I did at the beginning because there's literally been a change of 2 images. What tends to happen is that the images with so many views, they tend to clump up and stay together, and very few of them kind of bubble up to the top at once. Sometimes we get a whole bunch that bubble up to the top at once, but usually it's only a few. So, yeah, I am going to encourage you to go mark Bennu. Hi, Puck. Can you sit? Oh, what a good boy you are, Puck. You're such a good boy. So I'm going to encourage you to mark Bennu while we literally wait for SpaceX to come back online. I'm trying to figure. So, 106 DPI, it's 106. It updated a little bit. We do have a leaderboard. I don't think we have a command for the leaderboard. Command for the leaderboard. There's the leaderboard. We're also chatty in Discord. So, yeah. And you have to get 50 images done to get to the leaderboard. But another good thing about getting onto the leaderboard is right now, if you get yourself onto the leaderboard, you will actually get some mission swag. It's not going to be a lot of mission swag. It's not going to be anything big, but in addition to your super neat certificate that literally everybody else on the project is getting, you're going to I can copy paste that though, DPI. Oh, apparently it's command. Alright, good night. Night, Sammy. I didn't say whether or not it was added. Oh! All of that. Literally one letter off. If you get onto the leaderboard, you do get some mission swag. Everybody gets a certificate, even if you've only done one image, because yes, there are like 900 and some people that saw that did one image on Bennu and decided that was enough for them. And that's okay. That's okay. They still did a science. They're still going to get recognition. I may or may not email those 900 and some people and ask them to mark at least one other image. Because that would help our number of required views go down. So, it doesn't even exist. See? Hooray! Hooray! I can copy paste up. There it goes. Yeah, but yeah, that is really cool, DPI. So, DPI has kind of worked out how long it's going to take us to finish, and DPI hasn't updated me with this date yet because it's a date. Because I want it, before you tell anybody, do not tell the community at large. Here's why. If we finish by that date, I will let all of you pick an insect for me to eat on stream. I'm serious. You don't think I'm kidding? I have some grasshoppers here already. Scorpion. No, there are edible scorpions. There are edible scorpions. Okay, bug. There are edible scorpions. Because there's also edible tarantulas. I'm not joking. I am not joking. This is a thing. So, we're not telling you the date. Yet. We might tell you the date. But if we finish by that date, I will eat something on stream. No! What would you rather I do, Noel? I want to eat bugs. Oh, there's not a rolling average and I am not a statistician. I know. I'm still gonna go with the date you told me yesterday. It had better be yesterday. No, ticks are not edible. I can feel Pamela squirming. Would it make you all better if I said some of those gross jelly bellies? Like the mystery flavor jelly bellies? I'm grossed out, but it's your mouth. They have like powdered crickets that I can put into bread. Yeah, there are... See, DPI knows what I'm talking about. There are these Jelly Belly... The Jelly Belly's literally the brand. Like, here, these are champagne flavored. But they actually make these, like, mystery boxes where there's a bunch of jelly beans and some of them look identical, but there can be... it can be like either popcorn or vomit. The bean looks identical, but they could be one of two different flavors. Yeah, we have this spin the wheel box. Or Birdie Bot's every flavor bean. Same thing. Would you guys feel better? I feel like y'all would feel better if I went with that versus bugs. Okay, we'll do that instead of bugs, because that way nobody gets real squeamish. DPI says, bugs are better for you. They are. They sell the mixed flavor boxes in really teeny tiny boxes. So I'll probably try to find a teeny tiny box. Rather than like, there's one that's a canister that's probably about this big. Noel says, I want to see Pamela engineer a mission to the Mun in KSP. Has she... Wait, first of all, is Kerbal playable on Mac? That's the very first question. And second of all, has she ever played Kerbal? And thirdly, does she get to use any mods? It is Mac compatible. Yes, no, and I would do this. No mods. Oh, wow. So if you finish Bennu by the date that I know, that I will tell Dr. Pamela that DPI came up with, you don't need Kerbal Engineer to launch to the Mun and land. Yeah, but I can't play Kerbal at all. And Ambius said that mods might help me. So mod free. Omni says, Kerbal can totally be played on a Mac. You can play anything on Mac if you install a virtual desktop. Actually, I think for Steam, if it plays... Usually if there's a Linux version, there's a Mac version. Start with the docking. It's fun, though time consuming. I'm having issues just... I'm having issues just taking off and landing and stuff like that. And the text is very small. And I still don't know where my new glasses are. I did a screen share with Dr. Pamela the other day, and she said, OMG, your text is huge. So yeah. I don't know if it's gone around into an orbit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust the UI size again. I don't need to launch. What do you mean I don't need to launch? How am I gonna get to the Mun if, you know, I launch? Or don't launch? Alright. So, Dr. Pamela, which is not me, by the way, if y'all are confused, playing Kerbal. Okay. Playing Kerbal. And me eating potentially gross jelly beans. If y'all finish by the date that DPI has come up with. Since you all seem very, very opposed to the eating insects thing. And I know it makes Dr. Pamela squirm. Literally in her seat. What do you think, Puck? You'd eat the bugs with me, wouldn't you, bud? You'd eat the bugs. So what's this about number of space toilets changing? Are there humans coming back to Earth? I feel like we have time still. Yes, I was in the military. I was in the National Guard. I originally was in the band unit for my state.
T plus 25 minutes, 47 seconds since a great liftoff of Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral. We're getting ready to reignite the MVAC-D engine you can see on your monitor. This is going to be for our second and final burn. Currently, we are chilling in the turbo pump. We're also firing settling thrusters, small nitrogen-powered thrusters, making sure that the fuel and the liquid oxygen are at the bottom of the tank in the zero-G environment. As you can see from the map, we're coming over equatorial Africa. This is the best place to do the burn to change the orbit. So burn's coming up, let's listen in.
And back ignition.
We've got good ignition, chamber pressure is on target. Now this burn is going to last about 1 minute. As you can see from the velocity counter, we're going to add about 2.6 kilometers per second. That's how much velocity we need to put into the orbit to get from the low Earth parking orbit we started from into the final geostationary transfer orbit required by the Spacecom customer. We're beginning to throttle down the second stage engine to keep G-loads on the spacecraft underneath the required levels. Getting ready for shutdown of the second stage engine.
MVAC shutdown.
We've got a good shutdown. Waiting for the orbit call out now.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And the guidance officer over the countdown net has called out a nominal orbit insertion. Looking at the plots, it's a really good looking orbit for the Falcon 9, still carrying the AMOS-17 spacecraft on top. So now that we're in a good orbit, we're going to be coasting for the next 4.5 minutes or so. So we're going to stop live commentary, but we'll be back at T plus 31 minutes, 30 seconds for the final event, the deployment of the AMOS-17 satellite.
Yeah, steak would be amazingly tartar. Like charred on the outside. Okay. Space steak nachos? So has anyone actually ever PM'd you nachos? Yeah, I guess it does require some sort of medium to, you know, for conduction. Paranor was asking, didn't NASA have a frog ride along? I think they did. I don't know the details about that, but I think they did. I've gotten a few, but never when I'm hungry, so... So what's the apogee? I don't know. I really don't know. Not sure if that would be in the press kit. Oh. Mission overview. That's for Starlink. That's not the one I wanted. AMOS-17. I mean, Michael T. Myers saying that it should be about 36,000. I can't quite make that out. 36,000 kilometers for GTO. And they're kind of below that. I don't know. I'm pulling up the press kit right now. So for those of you that want to look at the press kit yourself,
T-plus 30 minutes, 55 seconds since liftoff. We're back a little bit early. We've got a view here from the 2 cameras that SpaceX manufactures and installs on the back end of the second stage, looking at the MVAC-D nozzle from both sides. Now currently we are halfway across Africa between Gabon and the Heart of Beanstalk ground stations. That's where we're getting ready to get telemetry of payload deploy. That should be coming up in about 40 seconds from now. Now currently the second stage flight computer will send a command to the separation band that clamps AMOS-17 to the Falcon 9. The band opens and small springs between the spacecraft and the second stage will open, gently pushing the satellite away from the second stage. Good view of the AMOS-17 satellite from the camera atop the second stage, waiting for payload separation event.
AVI confirm spacecraft separation.
Always great to see the spacecraft floating away from the Falcon 9 second stage. So we've got a good deployment on time. We're in the desired orbit. And with that, we're going to bring our webcast to a close. But it's been a great webcast for the Falcon 9 team. We had a liftoff delayed 30 minutes by bad weather at the Cape. But just before we went on the air, the last of the weather rules went from red to green. The range was ready to support. We counted down and launched at 23 minutes after the hour. First stage did its job before separating. There is no recovery plan for the first stage today. It will re-enter and break up in the atmosphere. Second stage continued on with 2 great burns, first into parking orbit and then into the final orbit.
Expected losses. Signal
Just now
Gabon.
we saw the separation of the AMOS-17 spacecraft in the desired geostationary transfer orbit. So again, a great day for Falcon 9 and the AMOS-17 customer.
Thank you to our customer Spacecom, and also to the 45th Space Wing for range safety and the FAA for licensing today's launch. We'd also like to thank all of our viewers for tuning in. Follow our website and social media platforms for updates on the catch for the fairing halves as well as our next missions and milestones. Until next time, have a great night.
and there you have it. It launched. Everything went well. The only thing we don't know about is the fairing separation, which we might know more about that, you know, probably tomorrow. I might have more information about that for you tomorrow. It depends. Depends on when they plan on catching it. So yeah, it did the thing, y'all. So thank you for tuning in to our launch coverage. Congratulations to Planetary Pan, who won line bingo. I feel my phone vibrating, but I don't know where it is. The next launch, the very next launch is, let me find out. Reload. The next launch isn't until Thursday, and it's a really early morning launch, so we're not gonna cover it. Straight up. It takes off at 5:44 a.m. Eastern Time. Nope. That's not happening. The next launch after that is scheduled while I'm gone. So yeah, it happens the day I return. So yeah, we won't do that. Paranor is saying Arnstro could do it. The Electron launch, yeah, I think Arnstro could cover it. Arnstro is not going to be able to cover the Thursday launch, I don't think. So yeah, that's all of the launch. That's all of the quick launch updates. So I will have more info and launch replays for you tomorrow in Daily Space, which is at 1 p.m. UTC. Not 1 p.m. UTC. It's 1 p.m. Eastern, 1700 hours UTC, London time, and 10 a.m. East Coast time. So if you miss Daily Space, we do archive everything, including this broadcast, on YouTube. So never fear if you miss an episode, you can always catch up. And let's see, what other things for the wall of text? Oh yeah, PSI. This has been a production of PSI, working in collaboration with Youngstown State University. Here in Youngstown, it's starting to get dark outside Ohio. We're brought to you by you, so thank you for doing all of your science. Thank you for, your bits, your subs, your pledges on Patreon, just hanging out with us while we, watch launches together. Follows are free. If you can't afford, to support us financially, inflict us upon your, I was going to say your friends and family, but inflict us upon the humans around you. And yes, as always, follows are free. London is UTC +1. See, this is why I just say UTC instead of being like, oh yeah, London time. DPI says we are 77.7% done. Done. Yes, we want to get done with Bennu. I may hate map tonight. I may not. I have to get my slides ready for tomorrow. London is on BST, not GMT. Gotcha. So, yeah, this is why I'm just going to stick to UTC. Yeah. So follow us to get notifications of when we go live, because along with our regular streaming schedule, we sometimes just go live randomly. So yeah, and I think that's all. So I'm going to awkwardly roll the credits once I find the credits to roll them. I have so many windows, you have no idea. And one time zone to rule them all, says Arnstro. Not quite. Not quite. But embrace UTC and know your UTC offset. It will make your life so much easier. It is and as DPI points out, is a time standard, not a time zone. All right, so I got the credits going. I am gonna go and get ready for tomorrow's stream and all those other things. So, oof. Michael T. Myers says it's 1 a.m. in the UK. Oh my, we're not gonna keep Michael up anymore. All right, so with that, again, thanks for hanging out with me, and have a wonderful insert time of day here, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.